very vocal about wanting to fight Daniel Dubois. I think, like Adam said, he's done exceptionally well with Don Charles and his dad and his team. He's looked great with the Miller fight, Herkovich fight. He's looked good against Joshua, getting that devastating knockout. But there's a difference with me and all those other fighters. I'm fresh, I'm hungry, and I'm ready to go. And I've been waiting since March for a big fight. Let's get it on now. I feel like they've been just they're sort of asking around different fighters and different opponents, just seeing which one fits. And you see the IBF coming out saying eliminator fight, no eliminator. So there are a few things to be able to. A few hurdles they have to jump through to try and make this fight happen. But I feel like it can happen, and I want it to happen. But hopefully everyone can come together and make this fight happen.
And there is Joseph Parker putting his bid in for the showdown with Daniel Dubois. He's ready. He's able. He wants it to happen. He sees that there's possible other hurdles that could happen to stop the fight from happening, but he wants that fight. And let me counterpunch. I think if anybody deserves it, it is Joseph Parker. If we were just going to strip away our desires and our bias and our whatever we feel, the matchmaking, wishes that we have, it should be Joseph Parker. Why? Because like Daniel Dubois, Joseph Parker has won every fight. Okay, unlike all the other fighters, Anthony Joshua's lost to Daniel Dubois. Deontay Wilder's lost twice in this whole Riyadh season thing. Tyson Fury's lost himself this year. Philip Hergovic and all these guys like that, they've been beaten. Joseph Parker and Aget Caballo, which has an an eliminator with Martin McCauley. Okay. All right, so that's done. Those guys are pretty much going to face off against each other. So it's only one legitimate fighter that could possibly, by right, based on the Riyadh season cards at hand, that is qualified and most qualified, and that's Joseph Parker. And Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker, it leaves them two, really. Simply based off the fact that they're not champions. Well, Daniel's a champion of the IBF, but, they're not fighting for the unified championship. Usyk and Tyson Fury, they're fighting each other. So they're like the people that they have, Daniel Dubois has the IBF. Joseph Parker has the WBO interim. Okay, so Joseph Parker has won the last 5 fights. Daniel Dubois has won the last 4 fights. Well, 3 fights, right? Because he did win. He beat Kevin Ladana, but he got beat by Alexander Usyk. So his last 3 fights he's won. So Joseph Parker is the only one that hasn't fought. Zhilei Zhang fought Joseph Parker and lost a split decision to Joseph Parker, right? But he got a chance to fight Wilder. So where does that leave Parker? Exactly. Counterpunch. I think that he deserves it. And I will let you guys know something. If it is any type of concern about not fighting Joseph Parker, we do have Jarrell Big Baby Miller. And this is what he had to say.
Getting there with the likes of me, He was scared to fight Joseph Parker. I heard Joseph Parker moved too much for him, so he don't want to chase him around. So he thought because I'm inactive, he going to fight a big guy like me. But I come forward, and I'm just mean, hungry. And like I said before, there's nothing he's going to do to me that's going to bother me.
So you guys can see, right, that Jarrell Miller pretty much let the cat out of the bag. Like, look, we even heard that he didn't want to fight Joseph Parker because he moved around so much, or whoever. I think maybe it was Don Charles that didn't want the idea of the style that Joseph Parker had. And a lot of people just thinking, well, Daniel Dubois did that to AJ, so he's going to do that to Joseph Parker. You got another thing coming. I've even heard, oh, AJ and Parker fights just alike anyway. I'm like, you know shit about boxing. Or should I say you don't know shit about boxing? Shout out to Roger Mayweather in the building. Okay? Because Joseph Parker doesn't fight anything like Anthony Joshua. In fact, Joseph Parker is a guy that I would be concerned if I am Don Charles and company or, Papa Dubois, but fighting someone like Joseph Parker. Why? Because he's a guy that can box and move. Okay, and I think he's a little bit faster than Daniel Dubois. Not as powerful, but a little bit faster, and he packs his own punch as well. So he also knows how to crack. And I think with the boxing ability, the in and out maneuvering, the pivots that Joseph Parker can do. He's able to get in and out. I don't like the extra weight on him though, but the way he is, he's seasoned. He has a great coach, the tutelage of the great Emmanuel Stewart from the Kronk's Gym, from Andy Lee, that trickled down from Emmanuel Stewart. So yes, he's trained right. I think he's where he needs to be. You see what I mean? And someone like Joseph Parker can give you a bad day at the office. Ask Deontay Wilder. Ask Zhilei Zhang. And that's when Zhang floored him twice and ran out of gas. Right? So, yeah, there's reasons for guys not wanting to fight certain styles. There was a reason, and I believe what Jarrell Miller said. Like, Jarrell should have been fighting Joseph Parker, but he didn't want to because he didn't want to fight or deal with that style. He wanted somebody like Jarrell Miller that make Daniel Dubois looks good, because all Daniel has to do is box and move or clinch. Box and move and clinch. Box and move, work the body, clinch. Repeat the process, and you'll get the job done, as that's exactly what he did. But with Joseph Parker, he wouldn't be able to do something like that, because you got a guy that's able to counter, that's not afraid of your punches, that's been in there with heavy shots, heavy punchers like that. You know, he knows the score. You know, he's been in there with damn near everyone. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I would be concerned if I'm Team Dubois. And I'm not saying Dubois, I have to let this be known that Dubois is scared. I think that people that's control of his career, Frank Warren, Don Charles, his father, right? Stan, I believe his name is, Stanley Dubois. Those guys didn't want that fight. Okay, and they don't want to pick a guy like Joseph Parker based on the fact that, well, wait, what if Joseph Parker's a pretty tough dude? You know what I mean? Because, you know, Filip Hrgovic, really unmatched and underrated. Jarrell Miller ain't been in the ring in 2-3 years. You see what I mean? Since the Lucas fight, and that's really, you know, he's 400 pounds. So, yeah, those guys look good. Anthony Joshua obviously wasn't that good or that prepared to fight Daniel Dubois on the night, but that doesn't mean Joseph Parker won't be. Okay, so yeah, and I think they know that based on his performances, based on the fact that he knows how to survive. He knows how to recover. He's tough. He has a heart. He has speed. He has everything pretty much, right? So yeah, I like the idea of Joseph Parker calling out Danny Dubois. And I think, honestly, on a fair scale, Joseph Parker should be the one to fight Danny Dubois if this was a fair competition and tournament hosted by Turki Al-Sheikh. But you guys tell me what you think of Joseph Parker calling out Danny Dubois. He'll come in. He'll be the opponent. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.